The text arrived 3 weeks before my sister Emma's wedding. I was in my office reviewing property acquisitions when her message lit up my phone. Sarah, we've decided it's best if you skip the wedding. We want a perfect day without any drama. Mom and Dad agree. Hope you understand. I stared at my phone, remembering how I'd helped Emma plan weddings with our dolls when we were little. Now at 32, I wasn't even worthy of attending her real one. The family group chat exploded with support for Emma's decision. Mom, it's her special day. She deserves perfection. Dad, Emma's right. Better to keep things peaceful. Aunt Linda, good decision, sweetheart. Cousin Rebecca, the plaza will be absolutely perfect now. The plaza. I set my phone down and looked out my penthouse window at the luxury hotel in question. The same Plaza Hotel I had quietly purchased 6 months ago through one of my holding companies. I typed a simple response. Understood. Then I called my assistant. Jessica, please pull up the Plaza Hotel's event calendar for next month. The family had no idea that their perfect venue was mine. They didn't know about any of my properties. To them, I was just the quiet sister who worked in real estate, someone they tolerated at family functions until now. While Emma had been planning her dream wedding, I'd been building an empire. Every major hotel, event venue, and luxury property in the city had been systematically acquired through my network of companies. The family business, Thompson Events, relied heavily on these venues. They just didn't know who really owned them. My phone buzzed again. Emma was sending photos of her final dress fitting at Elizabeth's Bridal, another property in my portfolio. The boutique's lease was up for renewal soon, I remembered. Jessica entered with the event details. Your sister's wedding has 300 guests confirmed. The plaza's grand ballroom is booked for the entire weekend. The family made all arrangements through Thompson Events, of course. I nodded, scanning the contract. And the hotel management knows what to do. Yes. They'll wait for your signal before implementing any changes. The next few weeks passed in a flurry of excited family messages about the wedding. I was systematically excluded from every conversation, every planning session, every celebration. Emma's perfect day couldn't be tainted by her imperfect sister's presence. Mom sent daily updates to the family chat about flowers, catering, and decor. Each vendor, I noted quietly, operated from properties I controlled. The caterer's trendy downtown location, the florist's elegant showroom, even the parking structures guests would use. All mine. Dad bragged about securing the entire plaza for the weekend. Only the best for my princess. No expense spared. I wondered how he'd feel knowing his contracts were with his excluded daughter. A week before the wedding, Emma sent another text. Just making sure you got the message about staying away. The plaza has strict security, so don't try anything. I replied with one word. Understood. Then I called the plaza's general manager. Mr. Richards, it's time to implement those changes we discussed. The day before the wedding, I watched from my office as my family arrived for the rehearsal. Mom's silver Mercedes pulled up to the plaza's entrance, followed by Dad's BMW, and Emma's Range Rover. They looked so confident, so certain of their control. Jessica brought in the final reports. Everything is in place. Would you like to review the new terms? I nodded, examining the documents. Every contract, every arrangement, every special accommodation my family had demanded was about to be reevaluated. The plaza's ownership was finally going to be revealed. My phone lit up with a message from the hotel manager. They're demanding to speak with the owner about tomorrow's changes. Should we proceed as planned? Yes, I replied. It's time they learned what they've lost. I watched through the security feeds as my family's perfect wedding plans began to unravel. The plaza's management was implementing new policies, requiring new contracts, and questioning every arrangement Thompson Events had made. Dad's face turned red as he argued with the manager. Do you know who I am? We've been doing business here for years. The manager remained professional. Yes, sir, that's precisely why the owner wants to speak with you personally. Mom was frantically calling their company lawyers, not realizing that their legal threats were useless against the property's true owner. Emma's perfect day was slipping through her fingers, all because they'd decided to exclude the one person who actually controlled their fate. I straightened my designer suit and checked my reflection. The plaza's security team was ready, the cameras were in position, and my family was about to learn a valuable lesson about judgment and consequences. Jessica appeared at my door. They're demanding to meet the owner now. Security is ready to escort you through the private entrance. I picked up my phone and sent one final message to the family chat. Be careful who you exclude. Sometimes they own everything you need. Then I headed downstairs to show my family exactly what they'd lost by demanding perfection. The plaza's private elevator opened directly into the management offices, where my family was creating a scene. Through the frosted glass, I could see Emma in her designer dress, tears threatening to ruin her perfect makeup. This is unacceptable, Dad roared. We have contracts. Mom was rapid-firing calls. Get me someone who can fix this. The wedding is tomorrow. The hotel manager remained admirably calm. As I explained, the owner is here to discuss the situation personally. I straightened my Chanel suit and pushed open the door. The room fell silent. Emma's mouth dropped open. Mom's phone slipped from her fingers. Dad's face cycled through red, white, and purple in rapid succession. Hello, family, I said quietly. I believe you wanted to meet the owner. This is impossible, Dad sputtered. The plaza belongs to Summit Hospitality Group. I smiled. Summit Hospitality Group belongs to me. Along with every other venue you've booked for tomorrow's perfect wedding. Emma stepped forward, her designer gown rustling. You can't do this. This is my wedding, can't I? I picked up the contract from the manager's desk. According to this, Thompson Events has repeatedly violated their preferred vendor agreement. As the property owner, I'm well within my rights to require new terms. Mom found her voice. But, you work in real estate. I don't just work in real estate, Mom, I own it. Elizabeth's Bridal, where Emma got her dress. Mine, the Grand Flora Company doing her flowers. My building, the luxury parking structure for tomorrow's guests. Also mine. The manager handed me another stack of papers. The updated contracts, Miss Thompson. Dad lunged for them. This is ridiculous. You're trying to ruin Emma's perfect day just because you weren't invited. I held up my hand. No, Dad. I'm showing you what happens when you build your perfect day on someone else's foundation. Emma started crying, her mascara creating black rivers down her cheeks. Why are you doing this? It's supposed to be perfect. Perfect, I echoed. Like perfectly excluding your sister? Perfectly announcing to everyone that I wasn't good enough to attend? Perfectly planning your dream wedding using properties you didn't know I owned? Mom stepped forward, switching to her negotiating voice. Sweetheart, let's discuss this reasonably. Name your price. I laughed softly. My price. You still don't get it. This isn't about money. This is about family who thought they could discard me without consequences. The manager cleared his throat. Miss Thompson, the guests will begin arriving in less than 18 hours. I nodded, checking my watch. Indeed, so family, you have a choice. The plaza is still available for tomorrow's wedding. Their faces lit up with hope. However, I continued, the new contract requires a public acknowledgement of the owner's contribution to the event. That's me, by the way. Plus a formal apology for the attempted exclusion of an immediate family member. Also me. You're blackmailing us. Emma shrieked. No, sister dear. I'm teaching you about consequences. You wanted a perfect day. Well, perfect just got more expensive. Dad's business instincts kicked in. What exactly do you want? I handed him the new contract. Full family acknowledgement of my position. A public apology for the exclusion. And I'll be attending the wedding. As the venue's owner and your daughter, not just some unwanted sister you tried to hide away. Emma grabbed the contract, scanning it through her tears. This is insane. You're ruining everything. No, Emma, you ruined everything when you decided perfection meant excluding family. I'm just showing you what that decision cost you. Mom was already reaching for the pen. We'll sign, just don't ruin her day. I watched them all sign, one by one. The mighty Thompson family, brought low by their own perfect daughter they dismissed for so long. As they filed out, Emma turned back. I hope you're happy. You've completely destroyed my perfect wedding. I smiled sadly. No, Emma, I just showed you what real perfection costs. See you tomorrow, sister dear. The manager waited until they left before speaking. Shall I proceed with the original arrangements, Miss Thompson? Yes, I replied, but add my personal florist. Let's show them what a truly perfect wedding looks like. Sometimes the best revenge isn't destruction, it's forcing people to face exactly what they've thrown away. The morning of Emma's wedding dawned clear and bright. From my penthouse office across from the plaza, I watched the early preparations through both my windows and the Sequoias were creating magnificent arrangements that far exceeded Emma's original plans. My wedding gift, though she didn't know it yet. My phone buzzed with family messages, their tone dramatically different from yesterday. Mom, darling, your hairstylist is welcome to join us in the bridal suite. Emma, the flowers are incredible. Thank you. Dad, the plaza's owner suite is prepared for you. I smiled at their sudden courtesy. Amazing what ownership of $1 billion property portfolio could do for family relations. Jessica entered with my morning briefing. Your sister's wedding planner is having a meltdown. Apparently, the upgraded arrangements are too perfect, and making her original plans look, quote, inadequate. How unfortunate, I murmured, adjusting my custom Carolina Herrera dress, a sleek, sophisticated number that would make Mom's designer choices look almost quaint. The plaza's security feeds showed my family arriving. Emma looked stressed, her perfect plan now under someone else's control. Mom was directing staff with forced cheerfulness, trying to maintain her illusion of authority. Dad was checking his phone constantly, probably researching just how much of the city's prime real estate his overlooked daughter actually owned. I took the private elevator down to the bridal suite, my arrival causing an immediate hush. Emma's bridesmaids, who had all supported my exclusion, suddenly found their phones fascinating. Sarah, Mom rushed forward, air kissing my cheeks. The flowers are exquisite, and these crystal installations, yes, I replied calmly. My properties do deserve the best. Emma turned from the mirror, her wedding dress a froth of designer silk. I suppose you're happy now. Everyone's talking about the mysterious plaza owner instead of the bride. I walked over, adjusting her veil with practiced ease. No, sister dear, they're talking about how the Thompson family is finally united for this perfect day. Isn't that what you wanted? Her eyes met mine in the mirror. You could have told us. All these years, would it have mattered? I asked quietly. Or would you still have sent that text? She had no answer. The ceremony proceeded flawlessly. My staff had transformed the plaza's grand ballroom into something from a fairy tale. As Emma walked down the aisle, even I had to admit she looked perfect, though the venue's crystal chandeliers, which I'd had specially installed last month, certainly helped. During the reception, Dad clinked his glass for the father's speech. I watched him scan the crowd, his practiced charm now tinged with new awareness. Today isn't just about celebrating Emma's perfect day, he began, sticking to our agreement. It's about acknowledging our full family, including my other daughter, Sarah, whose generous contribution as the plaza's owner made this day possible. I apologize for ever making her feel unwelcome. The guests murmured in surprise. Emma's future in-laws looked particularly interested. They were developing a new hotel chain, and had been trying to meet the plaza's mysterious owner for months. Mom worked the room with desperate enthusiasm, now introducing me as my brilliant daughter, the real estate mogul to anyone who would listen. The same people she'd helped exclude me from now hung on every word about my property portfolio. Emma caught up with me by the champagne fountain, a last-minute addition I'd ordered. This isn't how I imagined my perfect day, she said quietly. No, I sipped my champagne. Is it better or worse than having your sister banned from your wedding? She had the grace to look ashamed. I'm sorry, Sarah. I was so focused on perfect that I forgot about family. Sometimes perfect isn't about control, I replied. It's about learning what really matters. The evening continued flawlessly. My staff had orchestrated everything to exceed even Emma's elaborate plans. The message was clear. True perfection comes from inclusion, not exclusion. As the celebration wound down, Dad approached with two potential investors. Sarah, about that development deal we discussed. I held up my hand. Business tomorrow, Dad. Today is about family, remember? He nodded, finally understanding. They'd wanted a perfect wedding, and I'd given them one along with a perfect lesson in consequences. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just success. It's showing others exactly what they missed by trying to exclude you from their perfect world.